What's up, guys? So I am finally going to give you guys a user kit walkthrough. If you like the sounds that I'm getting, they are 100% coming from the Alesis Strike Pro module. It's just the way that I put them together, and there's a little bit of extra post-production that I do that I'll go over in another video. But today, I just want to show you guys how you can dial in the sounds that I'm using. First, to start off with, the top of all my cymbal faders are at the bottom of all the drum faders. Okay, so now getting into this kit that I'm going to walk you through, this is specifically pertaining to the one that you heard in the Charlie Puth How Long video. You can see it's a pop kit, that's what I call it, and this is the recording version. And the only difference that I do for the recording version is I add compression, reverb, and EQ. And that's another thing, I'm going to make another video to go over all that stuff because I only add some of those to the drums, and then obviously some things to the entire kit. So I'm going to get right into showing you guys my settings here. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker because I know you can pause the video. So you notice I do a lot of layering. Especially to note on the toms, I layer a snare drum in there, the DW Moon Center, and that's to give synthetic snare buzz to the toms, because naturally when you're playing a kit you get a little bit of snare buzz, and it just, you hear it. It's a subtle thing. It's not really up front in the mix. I'm skipping the rims because those are splashes that I split from the toms. If you want to know a little bit more about that, I can post a link. Pretty much, if you want to add some extra cymbals, you can split the rim from the head in the toms and add some cymbals. So yeah, this is going to be everything in that kit. I'm not going over the tuning of everything. I just want you guys to be able to dial in the sounds. I do mess with some of the tunings, but it's really subtle, and I can go over that after this. But pretty much the layering of the kick and the snare drum is adding, if you want to add some thickness or slap, like on the kick, the layer is adding slap. You just always mess around with layers. Because there's some great sounds in here. So that's my entire kit. When I go into tuning for the particular kit from the pop video, from the Charlie Puth How Long video, this is the pop kit, and I tune most things up by 1, and the difference is, so you can see each layer is tuned up 1 for the kick, and the snare drum is well tuned up by 1, but you want to see how I did the Rosanna center layer. Now that has a lot of like thud to that snare drum, which is why I have it layered in here, but it's kind of got a high-end cut to the snares on that sample, and I don't really want that to cut through. So what I do is I turn this cutoff down to 60. You're taking away that high-end frequency that comes through on that layer. The layers on the toms, I'm tuning that up 1 as well. Even though that's a different drum sample, just to keep it more around the same area, tune up 1 so it's going to fit a little bit better, sound more natural with the actual snare. And I found that the DW Moon Center is a great layering snare for the toms. On the tom 2 for the pop versions that I put together, on the second tom and the 2 floor toms, I raised by 1. Again, notice, I'm tuning up that layered snare by 1. And the difference is on my rock kits and on the standard kits, everything else, if I'm using these toms, they're just, the second tom and the 2 floor toms are left alone. Okay, so that's everything on my main sounds. Now, I want to show you some of my favorite, alternative sounds. You want to go into instruments? And now, stuff that I like to swap out, and this will be a big help if you're just trying to jam on something, test out different snares. These are my favorites. So this PS DW Edge snare is a really nice one. It's kind of fat sounding. Go to my other snares. The DW Moon Center. I don't know why it's kind of getting washed out there when it's highlighted. But that's it. The DW Moon Center snare, which is the same one that I layer with the toms. Also the Ludwig, BJ Ludwig Center. That's also a really nice sounding snare. So those are my 3 favorite snares. And of course there's, the Phat Snare from the PS, the 1.3 update. That's a nice snare too. I just haven't found a place for it yet. The PS toms are also awesome. They're super fat, super low toms. I just haven't found a place for them. Again, I mean, the other set of toms that's in the regular section here under just toms is Yamaha Oak Custom. This whole section here, Yamaha Oak. And what I do when I set these up is the first and second tom, I use the 10 and 12 inch, and then I skip the 14. I just use a 16 inch on the floor tom, and then I tune the second one down by 3. And that's a common thing that I usually do because I like a lower sounding floor tom. So, oh yeah. So an alternative to the hi-hats that I have in my kit, I go to the PS hats. These are the other ones that are my favorite, the sand hats. Again, I haven't put them in any videos yet, but I do have a custom kit using these hats, and they're really dry, raw sound. I don't know if it's for like a rock sound. I usually go for a more rock pop, something like that with my videos, but these sound freaking awesome, and they play really nice too. Also that PS Ride. Dude, everything from this update is awesome, by the way. Also, okay, so the kick options. This Tama kick from the update is great, and one of my favorite things about it is that it has the snare buzz built in. Well, the snare buzz is recorded with that sample. Where is it? So that layer on the kick, the layer I usually use is the 24 ambient. That stays the same, and all I do is I switch sometimes to NC Maple 22x18 muted. So I layer that on top of the other one, so the other one still gives that nice slap, like the beater hitting the kick, and this gives like a punch. It's a nice alternative. So those are some of my favorite sounds in this module, and you can see how many sounds there are, just so many things to experiment with. So that's the video, guys. If you like my channel, you like the videos I'm putting out, please give me a like, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and see you guys soon. Thanks.